Hi, I'm Cheryl Leach. The problem we're going to be working on today involves finding the derivative. But if we look at the function that we're going to take the derivative of, it's a composite function. So we're going to need to make use of the chain rule. Well, what exactly is the chain rule? The chain rule tells us that dy dx is equal to dy du times du dx, where y is a function of u. That's where we get the dy du. From the du dx, we know that u is a function of x. In our composite function, we think of u as the inside function and y as the outside function. So let's go ahead and take a look at our example. I would like to find the derivative of y equals 4x plus 7 quantity squared. Well, let's break this into its pieces, the inside and the outside piece. Okay. First of all, I notice that the inside piece is 4x plus 7. So I'm going to let u equal 4x plus 7. I can now find du dx, which is one of the pieces that I need. So du dx equals 4. The next thing I need to do is work on the outside function. Well, the outside function is the squaring function. So I'm going to say that y equals u squared. And now I can easily find dy du, which is also a piece that I need. dy du is 2u. Now I can put it all together in the chain rule. dy dx equals dy du times du dx. Well, let's take a look at dy du for a minute. I would like this to all be in terms of x. So instead of writing this as 2u, I know that u is 4x plus 7, so I can also write that as 2 times the quantity 4x plus 7. So I have 2 times the quantity 4x plus 7 times du dx, which I know is a 4. I can finally simplify this to 8 times the quantity 4x plus 7. Well, that's my answer, but I'm wondering, is there another way to do this problem? And the answer is yes. Let's look at an alternative way. I'm going to start with my function y equals 4x plus 7 squared. And instead of jumping right into differentiation, I'm going to do some algebra and multiply this out. So y is going to be 16x squared plus 56x plus 49. That's simply using the FOIL method. Now, I can go ahead and take the derivative and I can just use my basic rules. So dy dx is going to be 32x plus 56. Now let's see, did I get the same answer? Well, it doesn't quite look the same, but I noticed that I can factor an 8 out of both 32 and 56. And when I do that, I have 8 times the quantity 4x plus 7. And it's exactly the same thing that I got using the chain rule. All right, well, which way do you like better? Well, they're not that much different. However, I think it's important that we make sure that we know the chain rule, because what if this problem had been 4x plus 7 to the 15th power? The chain rule would have worked in a very similar way, but my alternative, I would have had to take 4x plus 7 and raise it to the 15th power. In other words, multiply it by itself 15 times. That's a lot of algebra, and I don't think that would be a very efficient way to find the derivative. So make sure that you learn the chain rule because it's very important. I hope that helped. Thanks.